Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Mental Threads podcast. This is episode 115, I think. Yeah, you're 115. I'm here with the producer right here. He's a very, very dope producer. Gladly he put me onto some of his beats just now, just bumming out in his Hyundai? It's a Hyundai, right? Hyundai, yeah, dude. This is like crazy. I don't even know why he's like not signed right yet right now, because it's like, bro, like, to know that he literally told me that he had like over hundreds of beats and everything. I'm not gonna disclose the exact same number because we ain't trying to go fed like that, but it's like, dude, that's like a whole library of like sounds and everything, and like to be like this far and everything with the sounds that he's got going, it's like I don't know. This sounds like some really good stuff. But anyway, his name is MJR. Don't want to go on and on about introduction, but yeah, MJR right here.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today, man? It's MJR.
Yes, MJR. And MJR, man, mind asking you, I know you just dropped in Charlotte kind of recently too, like about like what, 2 some months and everything. Where you originally from?
I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Oh, crazy. I got family in Philadelphia because I'm Liberian, so I don't know. It's like Philadelphia, that's one of the main spots that we be like, conjured up as Philly, Minnesota, and everything. You know anybody that was Liberian out there in Philadelphia?
I mean, honestly, a lot of my friends were either African, Liberian, Nigerian, Haitian. I had a lot of different cultures friends throughout my whole life, so I know a lot of people for sure.
Okay, cool. That's crazy. But you're just straight up just Black American, basically. That's your roots and everything.
I mean, it's a lot of things about me that I don't even know about myself according to my family. So, I mean, I feel like I'm Black American, so we gonna rock with that.
I mean, just for right now. I mean, until you take the DNA test and everything of that nature. Like, you want to take those tests and everything?
I definitely want to. It's been something that's been on my mind.
Okay. Yes,
once I sit down and settle, I'll be like, okay, let me go ahead and take this test and really get to know who I am.
I think 23andMe has like the best results and everything. You can try other ones. I'm gonna probably start with 23andMe and everything. See what's up with that. I know I'm already know I'm Liberian, but who knows? I want to see like how deep it is and like see like where like maybe there's other parts. Maybe there's some Arabian here, some Egyptian. Who knows? Mm-hmm. And everything. I know my tribal people are originally from Sudan and they just settled in Liberia. Oh yeah, sure. Like like people like they walk around. Like I'm from a family of nomads who started from nomads. Like that's what tribal folk, the Mono people from Liberia. They just traveled on foot, so like they were the main people who were like trading when people during the salt trade and everything with the Arabs and stuff. So a lot of us have so many different. That's why a lot of us look kind of different but kind of similar at the same time because we were traveling. So when you're traveling, you guys get a taste like, oh damn, who's that thick ass girl with the freaking with the what you call it, the hijab? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it'd be stuff like that. So when people travel, that's what they carry with them, and we just settled in the mountains of Liberia.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely something to look into, like to really get in connection with like your roots and stuff of that nature. I especially want to push that for a lot of my Black American friends and stuff of that nature. Since you can take a DNA test, it might not be the most accurate, but it'll pretty much bring you closer to where like where your roots are as close as possible. I know like Samuel Jackson took his test and got his roots rediscovered from Gambia and everything. He went and connected with this tribe, and they all look so much like him. And then like the same thing with Erykah Badu, with her tribal folk, like there was just already a connection there. So it's like once you really reconnect with your tribe people, we take you in. Ain't nothing crazy about that. So it's just a matter of just putting that investment.
That's crazy that you say that, man. It really opens my mind because I don't know a lot about my family. Thinking that it might be a tribe that I belong to.
Of course.
Like, that brings a lot of comfort. It's like, dang, it is somebody out there that may relate to me on a bloodline level.
Yeah, maybe a spiritual level too.
Spiritual level as well.
Yeah, because tribal folk, a lot of us have certain like tendencies. We also got like different, just like how races kind of have their stereotypes. There's a lot of tribal folk that kind of got their stereotypes. Like, okay, for saying that, like I'm mono, like my Liberian folk are the mono tribe people. So it's like a lot of us are known for being very like intelligent, bright people. But what comes with that is a sense of arrogance and headassery. So it's just like a lot of people I see a lot throughout my my tribal folk too. We're very intelligent, we're very loving, but it's like sometimes we screw ourselves when we're kind of head ass over there, when we think we know too much, and that's when we have issues and stuff. So it's like, you know, and in Liberia there's a Bassa people, which their women are very, very friendly and very social, and they're not trying to diss nobody or anything. You know, Pele people, from my experience, are very, very kind hearted, are very, very, you know, chill people. Crew people are very much close to like the ocean and the beaches, so they're very kind of chill also. And it's just like, you know, stuff like that. Kron people, who like we kind of have bumped our heads with in the past civil wars and stuff, like they're very strong hearted type, strong warriors. So it's like, you know, so it's like when people were snatching people up, the slaves and everything, they were very much so, they were like the main people fighting against that. Like, no, you ain't going to enslave me. Like they're like the killmongers on that sense. Like, you're not going to take, yeah. There's a lot when looking deeper in your culture. So that's why I really want to push a lot of Black Americans to definitely take that DNA test if they want. If it gives you a hint of what your tribal folk is, it's good to like look them up and reconnect with them. You know, get in touch with them. Maybe even change your name to something, because it's like literally you could take any word from their language and make that your name, and that could just be just to take your power back if you want. You don't gotta disregard all the history that your family roots have had in America, but definitely consider like your roots in Africa too, you know, to get your power back in a sense, you know.
Absolutely. Honestly, you just open my mind up. I'm not gonna get too deep into the conversation, but I have a brother, older brother, not an actual brother, but he's like an older brother to me named Yael. And we was talking about like name changing and stuff like that, and you just kind of gave me an idea. I like that.
Yeah, sure. Like, for instance, like my government name, although it's like, yeah, I prefer for people to just call me Toasty, especially at this stage of my life. My full name is T Dolake Seyfidi. So it's like the first part is called T, which is actually a variation of the word in my native language, which means black. And then there's my middle name, which is Dolake, which means one can't make it by himself, or basically togetherness and unity is key to progress and survival. And it's like there's also my last name, Say Fili, the first part Say, which is like what we would name your firstborn son. And then the last part Fili, which is like the morning dew on the grass, because like my family, my dad's side was actually mostly hunters. So it's like they had to wake up really early to really like catch what they got to catch. So it's like that was the first thing they see was the morning dew on the grass. And that's basically
that's some deep shit you just said, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy, ain't it? Crazy.
Hell yeah. Like I got, well, MJR is my actual name. It's just my abbreviation, not the abbreviation, the acronyms of my first, last name, middle name, and last name.
And you ain't got to drop it if you want to stay fit.
We know it's MJR. You ain't got to know all that. But just know that I'm coming hard.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. With the type of beats, I know we kind of fell out of line and trying to speak about a whole lot of stuff right there. But it's like, yeah, your beats right there, it's really, really good stuff. I could probably see definitely Kanye West on it. I could see like a lot of good music, like, you know, good music brand people. But it's like, you know, they aren't together as much. But yeah, Big Sean, most definitely. Maybe 2 Chainz. I know, like, he was kind of in that lane for a while. But like, yeah, that sounds like something that it's just like a lot of really dope, like, established artists would definitely like consider investing money into. So it's like, that's why I'm like, it kind of blew. I don't want to say it blew my mind in a sense. But in a sense, it's just like, just listening to it, it's like, okay, like, and to know that you got like over hundreds more, some that's like probably similar or even close to that quality. It's like, that's just like, man, it's just a matter of time, really. The more than just a matter of just like, oh, you need to work on this, you got to work on that. Just got to raise your brand awareness to it. And it's just, I'm sure like, there'll be a lot of people who would definitely invest in your beats for sure.
I mean, definitely. I believe once the brand awareness gets to the stage that it's supposed to be, I'm very confident that once the people hear it, they'll be like, okay, it's up there. And people will start to be like, okay, I want to work with this dude. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a couple stages in my plan. Mm-hmm. Once the brand awareness gets to that point, you'll start to see the stages and you'll start to see what my true goal is in the music industry. Mm-hmm. And, you know, once you guys start to see that unfold, then, you know, come work with me.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. I know hella dope artists and everything. A lot of them I interviewed. Yeah, definitely. If you want to check out their interviews too, you can check the Spotify link when I send it to you and stuff. I understand. Did you happen to have anything to do with the past event, Charlotte Spark, recently? Or?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how we got linked together then, because I be seeking interviews all the time. So it's just like, it's just finding people and everything. It doesn't really seem hard for my domain.
Honestly, I recently just started promoting, and when I ain't gonna say promoting, but posting more content of me creating beats and just showing my lifestyle, going to the gym, having people in the studio singing, rapping, and I believe you know somebody named Love V.
Love V, yeah, Love Ivy, or is it Love V? Because
Love V.
okay, yeah, sure. I think I got him. Yeah, I got him locked down for November. Actually, I think he just made a poster and everything about the whole Mental Threats podcast.
And honestly, I believe that might have been why you followed me, because you follow him, and I know me and Love. That's my dog.
Okay.
I can't wait to start really locking in and producing some of his records, because he's going to be something special. And once he gets to that level, he's going to need somebody that can definitely see his vision and create the frequencies that he needs. So maybe you found him, because I know he was posting some of the stuff I was doing on his story, so you might have found it. I don't know how you found me, but
that's just the beauty of social media. You're gonna find someone somehow.
Absolutely.
And dude, I'm just talking to Lovey, because I did speak to him mostly as like through the DMs, mostly the direct messages. So it's just like, 'cause I'm always trying to seek out other artists and everything. And he seems like, I see him from his cover art, film, from his energy. He seems kind of very energetic about his whole music career and stuff. And although we kind of said the interview all the way for November, I'm looking forward to it and everything. But it's just like, it seems, I don't know if he has a team or whatever, but it's like, I do have the feeling that he will get things together. Once I really like listen to a little bit of his music, I'll be get like a sense of like really like what his style is and stuff of that nature. But hearing from what you're saying before we even meet and everything, that's already giving me high hopes for the interview as a whole.
I will say, meeting him, being in the studio with him, him actually making a song to one of my beats, I will say that he is going to be a great act in the industry once he gets there. And you'll enjoy work. You'll enjoy speaking to him. He's very intelligent. Okay. And I noticed that he has a good knack to figure out what works with what.
Oh yeah.
So, and he has an ambient rock. Well, to me, it's got a little R&B mixed into it. I don't know if he would say that, but just hearing his voice, it has soul in it. I noticed that a lot of people who mix the rock and hip hop genre, a lot of them don't have any soul in their voice.
Okay.
And I feel that from him.
Okay, so you say like maybe this is a sense of maybe a modern day Jimi Hendrix a little sprinkled in there somewhere, or is it just like maybe just his own thing?
I never like saying someone's a modern day this person or modern day that person. He's just influenced by. He's just a modern day Love V. Okay, I'll just say that.
Okay, well that's a good way to put it. That puts him in his own lane, so it's like it doesn't mean like he's just trying to be something or whatever. That's cool. I definitely got to check out his music for sure. I can't wait, because I like hearing like other artists and their works and everything. But also that's why I love doing this whole podcast situation, hearing like what brought you to the table and everything, what really pushed you. Because we all got our own stories and everything. Hip hop is really like a quilt of everybody's own narrative kind of sewn into the history. So we're all just kind of got our own page within that book, in the sense of just like, I started here, this thing fell apart here, I put myself together here, and throughout music kind of carried me through that hard time, and now I'm here doing it through music. It's just that's just the beauty of hip hop, and that's the beauty of like just a spirit of the black man as a whole. So like we really could really change our adversity and really use it as fuel to like not just make it out that, but actually like use it that negativity to really change it to something entirely positive. Like like when enslaved people made like country music, people in the Jim Crow area made like, or even before they made jazz music or the blues and stuff of that nature.
I will say this. Yeah. There is a stage in my plan where I really want to promote the idea of us really taking back our music. Rock came from us. R&B came from us. Pop came from us. You can say, no disrespect to anybody that's white, I love white people, but any type of genre ever that is existing came from us. Even country, death metal, we started all of it.
I mean, yeah, to the roots and everything. But instead of saying it's like, oh, take it back or anything, in a sense, why don't we just own the fact that it's like, as people who create the creativity of things, let that just be a reflection of just like, just our, just not in a sense of like, oh, our wonder, but it's just like just the wonders of what comes with like being like a black man, whether no matter where you're at, whether if you're incarcerated, stuck in like the wilds of America, and just like all the systematic oppression that goes with that. Like literally, we're like creators. We literally bring about life through different dimensions of just music, movies, books, all types of things, and still manage to kind of keep. A lot of us still managing somehow to keep our sanity throughout a lot of it. So it's like we ain't gotta take nothing back. Just keep creating. We're not people that take. We're people that create. We're people that make. That's why it's just like, for us to be, for this to distort our image to be, killers and everything. All this other stuff, drug dealers and stuff. Not so much against it, whatever, whatever gets you through the wild, but it's like we gotta realize that's very counterintuitive. You know what I'm saying? Just keep creating, keep making. Look, you made 300 beats, dude. Like, that's not no slouch stuff.
I mean, I'll say this, it's more of a agree to disagree. And the reason why it's kind of like, I look at it like this. Mm-hmm. The reason why I said that we got to take it back is because, unfortunately, it has been stolen from us. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, an artist can get a popping song off on the internet, and everybody and their mama likes a song. And then a label approaches them, traps them in some fucked up deal, and now their entire career, their entire catalog, their royalties is now been stolen from them. And they probably never even knew from the beginning because they just didn't understand the language that was on those contracts. And even though that person signed it willingly in a weird poetic justice kind of way, it was stolen from them.
Oh yeah.
So that's just how I look at it. Maybe the terminology could be different, but I'm about empowering what needs to be empowered.
So you would push being more independent in a sense, instead of just being like putting all our eggs in the basket of a like superpower label or anything of that nature. Let's just try to work more independently and try to gain whatever revenue and through that. Yeah, in that case, and like, I get it through that. It's like, just want to be more independent. No, that's fine. That's
a better. I guess that's a better way to put it. And I do push independence. In this day and age, we don't need major labels, and they know that.
Of course.
So that's why you notice a lot of the new acts that come out. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if they are intelligent, but they sure don't come off as intelligent.
Okay.
So they come off as being easily manipulated and kind of selling their soul. And, now we're at a point where we have the resources and we have everything we need to be successful, independent acts that can reach a A-lister status without the help of a major label. But
it's just all about building leverage, like how like Russ would even say. That's why I say it's like really, we try to bring I don't want to say like race into it in a sense, but it's just in a sense of just like realizing just where the wonders of just the age that we live in now. And that's why when I speak to all sorts of artists, I always talk to them about an organization I seen off social media called Crowd Freak, where they can literally hook artists up through DistroFreak, a distribution service that they have, where they can really not only get all your music out there to all these different streaming platforms, but they can also hook you up with performances at festivals. And I speak about this to every artist I meet. It's just like, lock in with these people while they're just growing in and out. So it's like, because if they really grow, you could actually be more likely to build a partnership, like how XXXTentacion did with Epic Records, as opposed to just,
Hold on. XXXTentacion.
Yeah, XXXTentacion.
Tentacion,
yeah.
Disrespecting.
Okay, let's leave it at X. We know who we're talking about.
That's my guy.
Yeah, no, I know. Have you seen the documentary on Hulu?
Of course I have.
No, see, when he said that he had to build a partnership with Epic Records and everything, it had to make me think like partnership. We really do need to build a even ground with whatever platform we're working with and everything. If we really want to get some kind of not just like profit, but just to actually grow and have more legroom to do whatever. Because you hear a lot of artists that be like, "Oh man, I can't even drop this yet," or "Oh, I can't even drop my own car." So why would you even sign a piece of paper to sell your soul to that degree where people can control you? Like, I'm an Aquarius.
I can tell you exactly.
Candace can't do that. I'm an Aquarius, man.
I can tell you exactly why. It's ignorance and desperation.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists, they come from fucked up situations, and some of them don't have the knowledge to get the resources, or some of them are in positions where they can't get the resources. So when they song hot, a label approach them like, look, we're gonna give you 2 million, 1 million, 500,000, 200,000, whatever, to start your career path, and they like, hell yeah, I need that cash now, even though they gotta pay it back. But
yeah, I mean, it's like you can't, and you really can't really shit on it as much because, even with situations like, why, with this music thing, if it really takes me to a level or so I can really change my family, like, up and everything, like, I especially want to move my mom's outside of Charlotte and everything, get her, like, a nice little crib that she can stay at, safe and sound. It's just like, because, like, niggas really do be crazy out here, and it's just like, I'm not trying to say I got enemies, like, I'm like, no, because there really do be haters and everything, people that are mentally unstable. We don't know what happened to them in their show. Maybe they were molested. I don't know. Because, like, for them to really conjure that demonic energy of, like, being mad at somebody for doing well for themselves to where you want to take their lives away, where that threatens your sense of peace and everything. When I see people, like, win in life, I can't help but get inspired. Like, wow, he did that, so I could probably do that. He's doing well, so I could probably do well. He's been through that, so I could probably get through whatever I'm going through. People just don't have that mindset. People really want to take your life away over this stuff. I know it doesn't really connect entirely to, like, okay, yeah, that doesn't excuse it. But it's like, I get it from, like, trying to change your situation. Transitioning through this genre, the most dangerous genre, the most likely genre you can get shot in the face with, it's tough. You never see country singers have to worry, like, dang, man, Randy Travis might catch me lacking. Like, no.
Not Randy Travis.
Or, like, damn, Billy Ray Cyrus really off the Zoinky stuff. No, ain't no shit like that. It's just like, dude, they just make the music, and then, like, when the time's over, it's over.
Unfortunately, because of a particular situation that I've heard about or read about, when quote unquote major labels decided to promote quote unquote gangster rap, because now, since that's being promoted, being pushed, the listeners, the fans will start to act more like that and go to jail. And then they put money into the prisons, investing into their stocks and investing into God knows what else, in order to capitalize off that. I hate to say it's an ingenious plan, but it's fucked up.
I mean, it's sinister at the moment, but it's a plan that's been sinisterly working in their favor. We live in a capitalist society. It's all about profit. Where can I get the profit from? And a lot of this is this distorted image of, like, masculinity, especially for black men, the sense that you need to have a gun, you need to be a shooter, you gotta beat the hell out of niggas, you gotta take their life away, they even play with your image or whatever. And it's like, a lot of this shit is skin deep, and it all comes down to demasculation of the black man as a whole, man. It's just like, dude, like, we really, like, as an image, they really demasculated us to the point where we're good for nothing but sex and everything, or just things of that nature, or it's just like, this image of just like, you gotta be hyper masculine to be valid. You know what I'm saying? And that's counterproductive for it. Like, yeah, they'll talk about these women about, like, Indian folk and, like, Chinese folk, or make them sound, they're, like, socially inept or, like, incapable. But at the same time, no sense of their masculinity is challenged and everything. Yeah, sure, it's an image that they put, like, in a sitcom or whatever. But it's just like, they can still get married, they can still have children, and no matter what happened, they can still, like, be happy as they are. Whereas, like, for black men, I feel like it's hard for us to really, like, really just even be okay with just being okay. And that's where shit is fucked up,
I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it like this. Before I say this, I will say they are definitely demasculating the black man. And in my opinion, which I believe is a fact, it's because they know that we got juice. If we were to reach a certain level of intellect and maturity, strength, that we would pretty much be unstoppable. We're like their worst enemies, so they're trying to break us down. But I will say that over the course of the last maybe 5 or 6 years, I've started to see a shift in the mentality of the black man. In small spurts, small groups, we're starting to figure it out. And I think that, we're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, we got it all figured out. And I believe that the programming that they put on us is slowly dripping away. Drop by drop is going away, and we're going to get to that point.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But it's just like instead of focus on reaching a certain point, let's focus on really knocking down certain like trends and certain habits. For most definitely, like definitely want to get in touch spirituality. You got to build a relationship with God or just some type of power above you, that really keeps you on the righteous. And in a sense, it really just kind of builds. That really kind of bleeds into other aspects of your life. Really treating your body like a temple. Right. Really focus on what you put in your body. That's one thing. Because I like a little fried chicken, like maybe some fried food here and there and everything. Every once in a while, but don't rely on it so heavy that it's all you eat. Like I really like I go to like there's like a place like Yafo Kitchen. If you ever find a time, they have Mediterranean food, good Mediterranean food. They have a little macaroni here, a little bit of like some quinoa here, some chickpeas here, and everything. Mediterranean diet, that's really really good if you want to get like certain things in the balance. Drinking a lot of water, exercising. I know you're really heavy with your fitness stuff and everything. But just beyond that, really practicing certain habits in regards to like and principles and everything. And never put your passions above your principles. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. If something isn't worth investing in, you don't have to really push back into it because that could really drag you into a wrong direction. Especially like what Boondocks explained with the whole nigga moment situations. We all been through a nigga moment at one point or another, probably countless times.
Nigga moments.
And you have to learn to just walk away when to let it go. Like, yeah, sure, like there might be some people that might disrespect or do whatever, but it's not really worth losing your freedom for. Like, for anybody who's listening, bro, because like there's situations where you hear people, like you can look it up on YouTube, people that literally all it took was one punch and knock people the hell out and they land wrong or they break their neck or their head slam on the concrete. That was it for them. And now you got to go to prison just for that. Always keep that in mind. Just focus on your family, focus on building yourself, focus on really building your circle, and like literally all will be well. And just focus on the positive and forget about the negative. I can never stress that enough. You know what I'm saying? And there have been situations where you had to like deal with some people that it's just like, oh man, like damn, it's like, where it's just kind of stuck with you and everything. Where it's just like you just had to really choose like yourself over all that. You ever had a situation like that?
Say it one more time.
I know it's like kind of a weird question, but it's like, have you ever had a situation where you had to deal with ignorance, and how did you deal with that?
I mean, honestly, I deal with ignorance all the time. The best way that I deal with that is honestly just kind of, it depends on the situation. If I feel like my life is threatened, then I'll act accordingly. But, if it's something stupid, honestly, I'll just walk away because it's like, it's not worth me having to really hurt somebody to prove a point that doesn't matter.
Yes.
But then if my life is in danger or life of someone that I love or my family, then I will act accordingly. But other than that, there's no point to entertain stupid shit.
Definitely no point especially in the long term. Always got to think about the long game, and every decision you make is a wise man has to think about the long game and everything. Never think about the short game. Never think impossibly. You got to always consider. You got to really consider like really like what is the backdrop in regards to certain reactions to things. But anyway, back on the whole on focusing on you, because I know you spoke about how you're from like Philadelphia and everything. Could you pretty much describe what your life was like before you came down here to Charlotte not too recently?
I mean, a good summary of my life is a lot of experience, a lot of negativity, especially growing up in a certain environment. You are forced to learn a lesson very quickly, is that you can't really trust people. No, I hate to say that. You learn that really quickly. And the people who you think are your friends are not your friends or could be your worst enemy. And you learn that very quickly. And then, I will say in a way it's negative, but in a way it's positive. It instills in you that no matter where you are, you're still in the jungle. Because at the end of the day, you can be in a nice suburb and then somebody that's on drugs decides that they want to pull out a knife and take money from you. And now you're in a position where you got to defend yourself. You know, that can happen anywhere. I mean, the odds of it happening in certain neighborhoods is low, but the odds of it happening in other neighborhoods is high. And living in that type of neighborhood really made me aware of things and instilled in me a edge that won't ever go away. You know, I'm not going to be one of these happy-go-lucky, walking around dressing like Carlton. I'm just not, because that's just not where I'm from. It's not what's in me, you know? And no disrespect to those type of people, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, because of where I'm from, I'll never have that super go lucky, everything is fine. I'll always be ready. I'll never walk around with like AirPods in my ear if I'm walking down the street or looking at my phone. I'm always aware of my surroundings. Even in a movie theater, even the mall, I'm just always aware. It just happens. This is what's instilled in you.
Yeah, man, life is crazy that way. So you really can't even be safe at a dang movie theater anymore. Like they friggin' drop a movie if some dude wants to shoot up the damn.
Somebody wants to shoot up
the damn
movie theater. I mean, the odds of it happening are low, but shit.
It kind of raises up if you're a black male, dude. Especially like fatality rates, man. It's like really like from police, other black people, and everything. You know, it's just like, you know, being a pretty much. Being like misconstrued as probably like a thug, quote unquote, which is really just a deviation from the word nigga, really. Yeah. And everything. And then it's just like, really, you can be just in front of the freaking corner store one day. Next thing you do, some dude is like choking you out and everything for like no reason. Like just because, like, oh yeah, you look like somebody else, you know, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I've been in situations where, you know, I'm just walking down the street. And you can, I'm an energy person, so I can feel the energy of my surroundings. And some places just got a toxic vibe to it. And then you just feel it. You know, your hair or your skin kind of flies up like something ain't right. And it don't even got to be something ain't right towards you. It could be somebody getting their ass whooped right around the corner. You don't even know it. Somebody getting shot and stabbed right down the street from where you walk and you don't know. So, you know, you learn. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I left Philadelphia, because I wanted to change that energy around me so I won't be subjected to it as much. I mean, it's going to be wherever you go.
Oh, yeah, but, man. No, I feel that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get away from it.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Charlotte ain't a bad place and everything to get away. Although it's like sometimes we have our times too, especially certain sides of town and everything. But, you know, the thing about Charlotte, we're still trying to establish ourselves as a whole. Also as a city, whether it becomes to the music thing or just in general, like we still have yet to, for any of our teams to win a championship, whether it be the Hornets or like the Panthers, you know, it's like Hornets are still trying to they're still trying to get things together. Panthers are still trying to like change things up to get things back together from what, you know, like 2015 we're in the Super Bowl. So it's just like, you know, it's just things of that nature. So it's like when I hear like a lot of people from out of town are coming to settle here, just the last several episodes are from people who don't even grow up in Charlotte. There's always people that come from outside of Charlotte and settle in here, which is, I'm all good for it and everything, you know, fine where you got to stay stride. And like, I'm thinking about going to DC pretty soon because like I want to go to graduate school at Howard and stuff of that nature. But it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, if you can go to another town, you're trying to make life for yourself, you're the GOAT, low key, because it's like, it's really like a whole change from like familiarity.
This will be my second time. I was living in Atlanta for about 2 years.
Okay, cool.
And then I decided to come to Charlotte for some unfortunate reasons that didn't work out like I thought. But, you know, you learn life, you learn lessons, and you just keep on going.
Yeah, man, that's the right way to go for sure, man. I know like Atlanta's popping right now. Do you say like maybe Atlanta kind of rubbed on you positively in regards to like your work ethic or just your music or creativity anyway, type of way?
Atlanta rubbed on me very positively when it came to my work ethic and my musical career. Part of me actually thinks I might be going back. I'm going to see once I get myself in a certain position, if I feel like it's a better move for me and my team to move the operation back to Atlanta, then I might go back, or we might stay in Charlotte. We're still kind of, ironing out all of the kinks in the plan, in the machine, and once we get to that point where it's time to start the next stage of the plan, then we'll see where we go from there.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. I definitely want to check in with Atlanta. I think that I knew one guy who knew like a couple studios in Atlanta, so I might tap in with him. I'm trying to see if I can get him on the podcast. I need to see what's up with him, because last time I spoke to him about the whole crowd freak situation. It's like definitely as a developing artist, you got to get used to kind of like performing in front of crowds. Some of the crowds might be small, some crowds might be really large. But the thing is, like, they have a whole like artist development situation going for them. So it's just like you be seeing people that you never would thought of or be stand in front of a crowd or rock a crowd, and it's just like really like, the whole confidence kind of built in with them and stuff of that nature. So it's like I'm all for artist development. I'm all for everybody trying to like get to be the best version of themselves, because once you put that energy out there, it'll come back to you. But not just regards to that, it's just in my nature. Like I love this hip hop thing so crazy that it's just hearing from other people's perspective, knowing what their story is, knowing that they could be able to turn something negative and become positive with it. It's just like it's all the wonder for me. It's just like wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. No negative energy. Although you're gonna come across people that aren't and everything. Has there been a situation throughout your career? I don't know. Like, how long have you been making beats so far, sir?
I've been making music since I was 21.
And how old are you now?
I am 28.
Oh, word, shoot. Okay, dang, 28. All right, hitting close to 30 right now. But it's like, it's no problem. You're just striving together and everything. It's all realistic.
Age is a facade. It's not really real to me. I mean, physically, yeah, mentally.
Not really.
Even physically, if you treat your body right, eat right, you can escape, I guess, the negative things of age if you just treat your body better,
Oh yeah, surely, man. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, we're all trying to make it. I know, like, especially for me, like, I'm 24 and everything, and it's just like I be thinking about like a lot of people I looked up to, like, say, like maybe like a Tupac or a Biggie or a Lil Wayne and everything. They're much, much younger when they're like really popping with a lot of this stuff and everything. But I try to keep that in mind, that it's like at the same time, everybody's path is different. Everybody moves at different times and everything. It's better to be a refined like 20-year-old than a 18-year-old that was like maybe might have been popping but then scrambled out of control and then fell off completely, and really building something for yourself off that. So I always try to keep that in mind, that it's like like it's just there's a lot of people that didn't like Two Chainz didn't even make it and it wasn't popping until 2013. He was in his 30s and everything.
He was in his late 30s. I think he was 36 when that whole what's that whole
Based on a true story?
When that came out, I think he was like 36, 34, something like that.
Yeah, dude, that whole year, he was on everything, too. Just that whole, like, 2012 to 2014, he was on everything. But 2013, that was, like, the main. He was working with Drake, A$AP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar. Dude was working with everybody. Like, it was hard to, like, not hear about 2 Chainz. So I was like, when I think about, like, dang, I need to have a year like 2 Chainz where I'm just, like, on everything and stuff of that nature. So it's like, that's one of my main influences,
it's
too.
It's possible. Just gotta get connected with the right people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, but even though like connecting and networking is important though too, but really working on your style, really becoming confident in yourself and your own style, and just like who you are, and basically just working on your brand, but also building like the due diligence to kind of create like good wonders. Because dude was Titty Boy for a while, so it's like it's not like it wasn't like okay he just tried it like in his 30s and then like boom 30s. No, dude had to keep grinding for a while.
He had a solid team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what his story is, but I can imagine, had a good team around him. It was like, hey, maybe we should do this or do that. Mm-hmm. They gave suggestions. Pretty sure that he had his own thoughts, his own suggestions. Mm-hmm. Put it together, and we got 2 Chainz. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, no, seriously, man, because it's just like, Southern lyricists and everything, like really, like we live in a time where it's like Atlanta is like really popping. So it's like, it's not just Atlanta, but it's like, okay, like definitely Miami, of course, and everything. But like Southern metropolitan cities are really starting to like really show out in hip hop. Like I think Charlotte is going to be like that third person. That third circle of like, you know, influence in regards to Southern hip hop, but moving forward, and everything, especially with the baby, pushing what he's pushing, and then a lot of other artists and stuff kind of pouring into the city too, and everything, pretty much identifying the city.
Shout out to the baby, man. I really like a lot of his songs, man. I hope one day to work with him. Shout out to the baby.
Yeah, not just working for. I really hope that the life goes well for him too. I know at this stage right now, he's really it's stuck in his mind that he's a blackballed and everything. Some people believe it, some people don't. Like maybe in the sense like, hey, like, you know, if you're an artist and you still got fans and everything, you can never be blackballed. But back in the day, like where it's like you need to you play it on the radio, you need to do this, you need to go through people. Where it's like now, it's like you can just upload music yourself. You can just pretty much manage yourself. You can pretty much market yourself and kind of build something. You know, so it's just like the whole blackball situation. I wouldn't say like he's blackballed. I would say maybe he's kind of like, you know, he just has negative press. So it's like when people have negative press, it's like they get that negative connotation where it's like, okay, I can't mess with him or whatever. And so it's just like, you know, that's why it's really, really important to build a fan base, bro. So I even say like with other people, like build a fan base, because like Russ, NBA Youngboy, the one thing that they got is a heavy fan base. So it's just like, you know,
they got a community of people that just enjoy what they do, and that's really one of the secrets that a lot of people don't understand, is to build that community, build those people that follow you, and then they'll be the ones that really help you take you to that next level. The only thing that a lot of people don't do, but some people do, is help that community also grow within whatever they do, you know, giving them that support that like, hey, you got me, you enjoy what I do as an artist. Well, let me give some sort of something to you so you can feel like you're growing or you can grow too. That's what a lot of artists and entrepreneurs don't do. And, you know, that's one of my parts of my plan, that I want to find a way to help people that has helped me.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. It's just like, you know, connecting with your fans. It's not really so much like image does play into it a little bit, but also really building that connection of just like, you know, you kind of not just you see them, but it's just like you understand them and like I get where you're coming from, and then like kind of build that sense of familiarity. You know, well, even with Logic, he talks about mental health a lot and everything. And a lot of his songs, he talks about just overcoming that, and also overcoming like a horrible background sense of identity too. Some people don't see him as like a black man, although he is a black man. He just happens to be just very, you know, he's white mom and everything, but just has features that make him look like, okay, he's white and everything, but that's not really the case in his case. You know, it's just like, but trying to be accepted in that sense, and then trying to move forward with it's just like the whole, oh, he's corny or whatever. Right. You know, it's just like, you know, seeing the whole lot of stigma that you got to fight. So a lot of people relate to that to an extent. You know, so it's like, I feel like that's where his core fan base kind of comes from. It's like, okay, but he likes video games also. And so like when people started playing a lot of his songs on video game channels of the whole, you know, that's how he was like slowly building like, you know, up. Right. It's like, you got to just find a base at, you know, like, you know, who would your audience be? Why would they listen to you? And just like, you know, like, what do you mean to them? Like, what do you symbolize? You know, that's very crucial when building a fan base. It's like, you know, so it's just stuff of that nature. You know?
Crucialest things. And honestly, having good product, actually being talented at what you do, and being consistent. I notice when a lot of artists that I've worked with in the past just don't have that consistent fire in their soul to just keep on going no matter how hard it is, because a lot of people don't understand that it doesn't happen overnight. I'm not going to disclose her name, but I was working with an artist, you know, trying to get her in the studio, and we had like a little conference call, and I asked her, like, you know, what is your goals for the next year, 2 years? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be signed? Do you want your buzz to be at a certain level? Do you want to have a certain amount of songs out? What do you want to do? And she says, I want to be signed like next month, like the year. Like, what? I was just like, I didn't want to say it.
You don't want to disrespect. You don't know how they're going to take it. You don't want to start drama.
You don't know how they're going to take it, but I mean, the reality is it never happens overnight. And if you are overnight success, as quick as you done got up is how quick you shall fall.
then you got to do a bunch of crazy things to stay relevant, and it's just like there's no need for all that. Even J. Cole, like literally, like you don't hear nothing from J. Cole for a while, unless he's announcing maybe like Dreamville Fest, which I went to twice, or just general just music that's coming out, or just upload pretty much bringing awareness to his brand of Dreamville, and it pretty much speaks for itself afterward. Like everybody got artists they listen to on Dreamville. It seems like everybody pretty much connects with that van and everyone that brand as a whole.
Shout out to J. Cole. He's an amazing artist. I've been listening to J. Cole for such a long time. Amazing artist. Shout out to J. Cole.
Yeah, no, seriously, man. What do you think J. Cole means to a lot of us in North Carolina, man? It's just like for him to be like one of the GOATs, one of the top three. Although he thinks he's one of like the bronze, like, medal of like, which I don't believe. So I'm not trying to be biased or nothing. But it's just like what J. Cole represents is just like the perspective of the average Joe without being average. That everybody, not in a sense, is special, but it's like, like you can come from a shitty background and still like at the same token, still like find solace and just like, okay, I can just work hard to make my way out of it on that sense. But it's just really just for the soul and everything.
Honestly, and like again, shout out to J. Cole. I can't wait to work with J. Cole. That will be a great thing that will appear, that will be created. But just being honestly being a fan of J. Cole, he's on a level that's completely different than a lot of artists. And, because of that, he may not get the recognition that he deserved.
I think he does.
The reason why I would say that, I know that he does because his fan base is crazy. He could drop an album and go platinum. You know what I mean? But there's still a lot of people that just can't grasp his style or his intellect or his message. They just don't get it. And I feel like J. Cole should be on every billboard all over America, all over the world. He should be everywhere. He should be promoted like they promote A-listers. He should be promoted like they promote Beyonce. He should be promoted like they promote Drake. But from my observations, he's not promoted as much. And I don't know, is this because he chooses not to, or that because of what he does, is it aligned with their agenda?
But regardless, dude, it's just at the same time, would it still be J. Cole though? Like I'm just saying, it's just like I feel like J. Cole is designed for people to appreciate J. Cole. That's what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is, J. Cole to remain himself.
Yeah, of course.
But be promoted as if he's a super ultra megastar. And in my humble opinion, I don't think that he's promoted as if he's a megastar, even though that he is. But he should be out there. He should be like Taylor Swift. He should be like, See, you see what I'm going at?
I'm just kind of like struggling, but it's like, I know it's like a Taylor Swift fan base, it's just like a J. Cole fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Not necessarily fan base. I'm more or less you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying like the reasons why pop is as the way it is because the majority of the people that conform to the agendas will be more likely to fall in with that. People who wouldn't usually conform to that would definitely listen to a J. Cole. They could listen to pop and still listen to J. Cole. Like that's possible. But I just feel like, what J. Cole, the message that J. Cole pushes, and J. Cole as a human being overall, and like, say something like, okay, a Lil Pump or Lil Yacht. It's different. That's what I'm saying. Like different people are gonna appreciate things because they align with their different values. Like you obviously value creativity and the intellectual side of music to an extreme degree, right? So you'll always mess with J. Cole. And I'll always I value things like humility in the sense and the vulnerableness that comes with music and creativity as a whole. And that's what a lot of things that J. Cole represents also, along with the intellectual properties too. I also appreciate that. So it's like I will be drawn to J. Cole. I say like J. Cole, what it says, it just was a soundtrack for my life growing up, through adolescence and getting through adolescence as a whole. Same with people like Tyler the Creator, and the list goes on from then on too. I'm just saying you're just gonna be drawn into artists who it's just that you identify with. That's why fan base is so crucial. Because if you have a fan base that you don't really identify with as much, it's only gonna fall apart over time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. So it's just like that's why with J. Cole saying that he's a bronze medal, like I don't really care about like numbers. Okay, like Drake could be on top, or like Kendrick could be in his lane too. But I just feel like J. Cole is that's like my personal GOAT to me. That's just like personally, because like that's just in that fan base. I fuck with Drake and I fuck with Kendrick heavy too, but it's just like at the same token, it's like J. Cole's just different to me,
Right.
because it's just like, I feel like that's where my style or be kind of like aligned with also. Their styles can have influences also, but I feel like J. Cole is like the blueprint to me. That's how I kind of see, You see how the difference kind of goes on from there. We've been speaking about a lot of this stuff and everything, but back on the whole beat situation
it's okay.
with you, because I want to be able to focus on like you as a whole too. But it's just like,
well, I mean, that's kind of I mean, I'm a producer, so I focus on artists. So you know what I mean. So I appreciate the fact that we just able to talk about other artists, because I hope I ain't gonna say I hope, I will one day be in the studio with these artists making their music, and I can sit there and
or just working with the label and everything, work with artists that they're picking out too and everything. It's all
I can sit down and have this same conversation with J. Cole.
Yeah, most definitely. But it's just like, it's just in regards to like how artists are kind of coming through in this decade. And I know you even spoke about Love V and everything, and where you pretty much had, I don't want to say high hope, but you kind of have a sense of faith in just in regards to like his work ethic and his but just like other artists in general, like, it's like, do you feel like the 2020s could definitely be like another respectable decade for music also, or like moving forward, from like what we're hearing from a lot of independent artists right now?
Absolutely fucking not.
Really? You really think like no clue at all? I have a lot of faith from like a lot of artists that I'm hearing and everything. How it started.
I think 2023 is going to be the year. I think
2020 is the whole decade. Not just this year. Forget just 1 year.
I feel like
over time is what I mean.
I feel like over time, I will say that in this decade, I do believe it will be the return of a lot of, I won't say bullshit, but it's going to be the return of a lot of non-bullshit. Like, it's going to be some way better good music promoted on a not universal scale, on an international scale. Because I feel like a lot of the good music, soul music, something that really touches you, isn't necessarily international. And I feel like that's about to come. I think in the next decade, I do believe that, I ain't gonna say it's gonna go back to the old school, but that old school vibes, some old school energies, more music about love and more music about revolution and rebellion against the forces that be. I feel like a lot of that music is gonna start coming, especially after the deaths of a lot of artists that were, pushing that agenda of rebellion, and people are waking up now.
Being an individual, but also
a lot of that is going to come, and it's going to, and because of the resources we now have, it's going to be pushed onto. And I'm happy I'm in a position now where it's like, you're going to hear some of these artists or some of these masterpieces that I'm going to create, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, no, music, dude, hip hop especially, bro. Like, that's always something to really get into, man. Like, and I feel like especially for Charlotte, that's why I always talk about like decade to decade. I feel like this decade is definitely gonna be like, I don't want to say a renaissance period, but definitely like a genesis period. Like where things are really gonna start changing, and then maybe the 2030s are gonna be the decade where it's like, okay, that's gonna be like the late 2020s, early 2030s. It's gonna be that renaissance era, or not only where Charlotte's even put up, but also independent artists are gonna really, really come out a lot stronger now with like people like Russ and everything, and lyricists and everything, and then just stuff people like Nipsey Hussle, and to a degree also having influence for a lot of us, and even Excess Tentacion. Let me just say, make sure I'm saying it right. It's just a southern cadence in me. It just rolls off.
It's okay. I mean, the only reason I even clown people for that is not to be mean. It's just, I was a big fan. So if somebody say his name a little incorrect, I would try to, correct them. I think I'm saying his name correct. XSS Tentacion. I hope so. That was one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, dude.
I was very sad
when he passed,
because I was working very hard to work with him. I was reaching out to his management, reaching out to the people that he know, really working hard because I really wanted to work with that kid. He was awesome.
Yeah, and members only and everything. I really wanted to see where that was gonna take it, because it's just like, imagine, because it's like, what really would have been great. I know a lot of people might have just like side eye me with this and everything, because like, could you imagine like, maybe if X and Drake were to actually, instead of them like Drake trying to like take,
no,
you couldn't see them working together by no chance, like, the way that
it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
It would have been nice, but it's just
it would have been nice, but
it just wouldn't have worked out.
I knew why that happened the way that it did.
Okay, I mean, you can definitely keep that because I feel like I'm kind of sensing where you're going with it. I go, well, let's not go fed with the whole conspiracy theories and everything, but it's just like but it's just like in a wonderful world, because like X was so versatile, and like Drake is versatile in his sense also to really like that what if that versatility would have crossed and everything, where it's like Drake could have really helped X and his, although they're completely vastly different. Drake and Lil Wayne are vastly different, but it's like but Drake and Lil Wayne was able to like to work with the whole Young Money situation and make bangers after bangers. Like
I would have liked to seen, and I hate that it would have been a Drake and a Pop Smoke song that would have took over the summer.
That would have. I could have seen that because it's like because the way Pop was really rising is God bless God rest his soul, man. Pop Smoke, because dude had a lot of life ahead of him. Dude could have been like, I know people like, oh, he was a second, like 50 Cent, but it's like Pop Smoke was Pop Smoke. Like the voice and everything, the consistency of the hits. Dude really could have took over. Pop, X, Juice. It's just like so many people just passed way before their time. I know Max.
What shirt I got on?
Oh no, you got the little peep shirt. I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, they never do.
Yeah, but it's just like there's just so many young artists I would have just like really would have revolutionized like this decade moving forward. Like X could have definitely would have been like definitely GOAT status for sure. I would say he would have been up there like a little bit way past NBA YoungBoy for sure, like way past NBA YoungBoy. Not trying to compare and contrast, because I know NBA YoungBoy got a strong fan base too and everything, but X was going.
Juice was amazing.
Juice is amazing too, man. Dude could freestyle for an hour. Have you seen that 1 hour freestyle and everything? I need to check that because like I really need to schedule in the really, because you got to schedule to freaking like listen to all that. But it's like it's just crazy because it's like wow, we really got to go hard for real for these people, because a lot of these people are like really like artists I really looked up to. Mm-hmm. So it's not in a sense of trying to take their place, trying to fill a void. It's there's so many voids left behind now. And it's like, hip hop should be like just stacked with like nothing but raw talent and everything for decades ago. With the 90s, had the Wu-Tang Clan, with the freaking Death Row Records, Bad Boy. You had your freaking Master P and No Limit coming up towards the end and toward the early 2000s. I like when rap is just constantly stacked with so many good talent. And so I just feel there's a whole lot of voids to be stacked, but it's like from that scarcity, I feel like there's more voids to be filled and everything. So it's just like, there's always that positive note to look on that. Absolutely. And everything. So like, where do you feel like hip hop I know we kind of touched upon that, but like, where do you feel like hip hop could pretty much take for the next like 5 years to a decade in your own words?
Like I said before, more music about positivity, more music about love and rebellion against the system. I do feel like the music, the frequency of it is about to change because, a lot of this stuff that we've been listening to is starting to become stagnant. Nobody really wants to hear about this gangster stuff anymore because, hate to say it, but
it's tired now.
It's tiring, and a lot of these quote-unquote gangsters have been exposed, and they're not really who they say they are. And a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are. And we're kind of tired of that shit, And that's why
even when you are starting to, even when you are, it's like there's so much that comes back. Like even the whole YSL situation with the RICO charge. Like who wants to get caught up with that shit, man? Like really,
And honestly, that's why people like me and a couple people on my team, we come in where, now we're going to find these artists that have more than just a story, where they have a talent, they have skills, they're good, and we're gonna put these people on a place and create great records that are memorable and stuff that will survive the test of time, something that just not microwave where you hear it a couple of times, turn up, might go to the club, twerk to it, but then 3 days later you forget it exists. Like, you're going to listen to this song for the rest of your life, and that's really my goal, is to create music that lasts forever.
Yeah, Yeah, man. Definitely seek out artists that have a principle too, man.
Mhm.
Always put principle over passion. I always speak about stuff like that, bro. Because really, just your values, your habits, and everything, that's really gonna shine through your music anyway, regardless. If you have no value, no identity, or no direction of where you're headed, whether you're focused on mental health, spirituality, really trying to focus on healing, just focusing on any of those aspects, pushing forward. These positive aspects will take you a lot further, but it's not even just about taking you further, but just really trying to make a positive out of the negative. And that's why the artists really need to tap in with stuff like that. It's cool. It's I like a little trap song, a little ass shaking, stacks on the ass every now and then, but know to like find a balance. Even Tupac can find like songs where like people can party to, then songs you can like really break down about like just certain things that are going on in the system. Then talk about spirituality, family, love. You can speak about these aspects. A lot of these projects need to be heard, ladies and gentlemen. They need to be heard. It can't all just be about a nigga fucking, you thought I was feeling you, shout out to Ice Spice for making it, but it's just like you could do so much with that. It's like getting like a car with just a little bit of gas. It can only take you so far because there's not a whole lot in the tank to speak on, but just regular pleasure type things.
We'll see how that goes.
I hope that she does good and carries her because I want every artist to win in the long run. But it's just my 2 cents with that.
I ain't gonna speak on that.
No, for real, but anyway, it's just like, but I know we're getting close to like the hour end and everything, but I just want to ask you some key things. It's just like, what are some things that influence you, into like get into music and stuff of that nature, and where do you see yourself going from here?
Some of the things that influence me in music is honestly, it's like it's even hard to even say what influences me because it's like music is like a drug.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can make music all day, every day, and it's like, I mean, I get inspiration from listening to other artists. Sometimes I can hear a sound in the wind and just get instantly inspired. It's so hard to really explain where I get my influences from. Growing up, I listened to a lot of rock music, so a lot of my music will have rock influences, but I also listen to like old school R&B, the blues, jazz. I listen to a lot of different genres, so a lot of that would be mixed in different beats and and what was the other question?
Basically just where do you see like yourself like in the music genre? Just where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? Basically talking about like what brought you here, where you trying to take it basically.
In 5 to 10 years, I see myself being one of the top producers in the game where people call MJR and they say, I need you, let's go make these hits. I'm gonna call MJR to make this hit. I'm gonna call MJR to get some nice hooks, nice lyrics, nice beats, promotion, everything. Even, part of the plans where we'll be able to help artists actually create income where they don't have to go to the label to get money. We'll be able to put you in a situation where you'll be able to get your own money and you'll be able to get loans from the bank and not have to worry about all the extra shit. So you pay the bank back, but guess what? When you pay the bank back, you just if we get you to a point where you can get a $500,000 loan from the bank, pay the bank back maybe, I don't know, $8,000, $9,000 a month, opposed to you paying the label back $500,000, they taking 85% of your royalties for the entire deal, and you only coming out with 10 grand out of a whole single. And it's just, no, we're going to put artists in a position where we're going to help you make your own money and help you get your own quote unquote advances. But fuck the label, is going to get rid of it. And I'm going to tell all you guys a secret. If you didn't know this, you're going to learn today that these record advances that come from labels are just loans from the bank that they give to artists, and they pay back the bank, then you pay back the interest from the bank, then you pay back the royalties to the label, and then the label's the only one that wins and you barely come out with any money.
That's bullshit, man. But it's just like, that's how I know you're a real one for real. Because even talking about financial literacy, especially in the music game, people just talk about stacks and stacks. And I
They
got this
think
much
it's
car.
all about stacks, but that money that they give you, you gotta pay back the label, and the label gotta pay back the bank. But at the end of the day, every time an artist is signed, a business is opened. And then if you are a flop, guess what? They just close the business and write it off on taxes. So either way, they can give you a $5 million advance, but if you flop, they're just gonna write it off and keep it fucking pushing, and their losses will be minimized because of that. And a lot of people don't even know that. So, what's the point of even going to a label? Let's get your credit right, and you just go to the bank, because at the end of the day, you can hop on Google and find out who they use. You can find out their publicist. You can find out their digital marketing team. You can find out how you get your shit on Apple Music, Spotify, and da-da-da-da-da. You can find these people that make great, crazy, ultimate music videos. You can find these connections. You can find these people online. You can just go onto a major label's website, and everybody that they work with is on the damn website. Instead of you going through the label, you just get the money from the bank, and you call them, because guess what? Money talk. And if you talking money, they gonna do what they want. They gonna do it. They gonna do it. Yeah. Same way. Yeah, I knew I'm not gonna disclose her name, but I know somebody that does public relations in Sony. She charges 30K to 50K. But listen, if you got that 30 to 50K, she'll get you popping. And that's just, you give her the money, she do her job, and she go about her business. Now you popping.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
It's good. Just build leverage, man. Building leverage is so important for really being on your P's and Q's on like the legal sides of everything too. It's so crazy, man. You know, it's just like, just seek out all information that you can before really moving forward. Really write down what you want to like get out of this business for real. I can't really just say like, what do you want? Do you want to just uplift your family? Do you want to live financially free? Do you want to like live like where it's just something to do on the side, and you just want to do other things? It's always good to focus on other things too. It can't always be about music. Like, can't just be your only bread and butter. I do this podcast situation. Might want to go into merchandise soon enough and everything. It's all a step-by-step process. Yeah. But you got to be self-aware. You can't let these people hold you out and everything.
You cannot let them use you. They will use you. They will abuse you. And I know, I'll say this. I'm launching a machine. A machine that's I created it for creators. If you got some other type of business, I don't know, maybe you cook or something, those type of people are also invited to become part of this machine. But, I really want to focus on music creators, at first, and then I'll branch out to other businesses. But, you sign up, you subscribe to this machine, this product, and there's a step-by-step formula that's going to take you from the ground to the sky. And this formula is going to put you in a position where you will become your own bank, and you will be in control of everything that you do. And because there's so much opportunity out there, people just don't have the education. And then, when I build this machine, and that's part of the stages of this plan, once this machine is built, I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but I'm confident that it's going to change the lives of so many creators, and it's gonna make it easier for them. Because I feel like a lot of people, it's a struggle, and then a lot of people they were born to create, but the system doesn't allow them to be in the space of creation. I'm going to create a machine that will be able to put you in the space to create.
This is a space to be free to do whatever it is for you to like really feel express. That self-expression, that's really like the root of all creativity. It's to really express yourself, and like you really always push for that. And I always vouch for people that want to really express themselves, and that's all. Don't want to get in nobody's way, don't want to stunt nobody's growth and everything. And it's just like, I feel like you stunt your own growth when you put that into other people's hands. Like, it's just always stay independent. always, God put you on this earth with free will. You got to be independent. You're nobody's slave. Never be a slave. Never be a hoe. This is not the time. We're grown people now. He was like, you got to really read in between the lines. You can't point the finger. That's the thing is, I don't want to be stuck in a label because I don't want to point the finger and just be like, oh, this person. The reason why I didn't reach here because this person or that person or this person ain't tell me. Is have agency over your own life, people.
Mm-hmm.
You're your own agency. It's okay to be independent. It's okay to like go get through the mud a little bit. It's just like it's okay to stay out the way and just really just get yourself together before moving to a certain stage in your life. It's not all about just like showing off for people or just being rich or having an aesthetic like, oh yeah, look how much money I got. None of that matters. It's so skin deep. Build a legacy for you and your family, bro.
Exactly.
Everybody, we all got the pot of gold within ourselves, man. It's just we all got it. Hard work beats talent at the same time. You can have a little bit of talent, but it's that hard work, that self-awareness, that's going to be the stuff that's going to change your family dynamics. That's just my sense of that stuff of that nature. But we're gonna pretty much past that hour mark and everything. Might you have anything else you want to let the audience know before we go off, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow me on Instagram. Produced by MJR, PRODBY.MJR. Follow me on Instagram. There's a link in my bio that will link all of my social media accounts. Also, there's a link where you can book me. I'm doing business consultations for anybody that wants to learn about the music business and the music industry. Book me, and I will teach you how to get from the dirt to the sky, if that makes sense. And I know the formula. I've seen it, I've done it. And it's possible for anybody that's in the music business. And you don't need a label. All you need is to find the resources and find the capital. And I can show you how to get there.
Yeah, man, you hear from a real one right here, the producer, MJR, right over here from Philly.
And I make beats. I will produce you. My beats fire, and you gonna hear them. Let's believe that.
Yeah, can't sleep on this dude beats, bro. Dude, you're hearing it from me right now, dude. That's why I love doing this podcast. I hear from so many people that I know is gonna blow up, and from 5 to 10 years from now, like I'm guaranteed from what I'm hearing from his beats, bro. You're gonna he's gonna be up there with the Lex Lugers and the Timbalands for damn sure. I'm not trying to bullshit nobody, like for sure, and everything. I appreciate you for hopping on for this episode of the Mental Threats Podcast, and we sewn in, now we're sewing out. Take care, y'all.